Hi, I'm Marilyn San Clemente of Stamp with Marilyn, and welcome to my creative playground. Tonight I'm going to show you two variations of window cards, and here's one that I made. Isn't this pretty? This folds out. It's a fun fold window. And then this is the same card, but I made it with the Wildly Flowering suite. I love that. Isn't that pretty? So let me show you how to do the cutting and assembling for that, and then we'll go from there. So you're going to need a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock, and you're going to need some coordinating designer paper as well. And then you need a second piece of either white or a lighter color that goes with what you're doing. And that needs to be 5.25 by 8.5, okay? So let's do some scoring, and I will show you how this works. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to score this at 4.25, because it's just a regular card base. There we go. So we'll score that, and we'll use our bone folder. Okay, so that's nice and crisp. And then we're going to score this one at 4 inches. And 6.25 inches. So that is over here. This is 6.5, so 6.25 is this line that's not white, that's kind of in that black area or gray area. And that is going to go like this. And this one we're going to fold this way, and then we're going to fold it this way. Whoops. And if you have a little bit hanging off, you can just trim that, if you probably don't want that hanging off. There we go. Okay. And I think that's it with cutting, other than we need to do the windows now. So this is our card base. This is the layer that I'm going to put on the outside. Oops, this is a little bit off here. So I'm just going to pull this back. And where did my bone folder go? You can, if you pull it back, line the edges up. Okay, line the edges up, which is easier said than done. And then you just go back over it again with a bone folder, and that will straighten it out. That's my trick for straightening things out. So, okay, so we're going to put this piece on here. And, okay, so I'm going to attach that. And there's my tape. Okay. And then this piece is going to go in here like this, but we don't want to put that in right now because we want to do all our cutting first with the dies. So it's going to go like this once it, so it will fold out like that. So this will be right under. So you want to make this really in the middle. So I'm going to mark this, so this is 4.25, so you want 2 1/8. So this is 1, this is 2 right here, so I'm just going to mark like right there. So I want to line that center die up that I'm going to use with that, and that is going to be this die, and then I want that die for the middle. And what I'm planning to do is use this blue for this piece, okay, in place of that piece, and then I will use this to cut this, so I will get that in the center. Does that make sense? Okay, what I want to do is I'm going to put this back in, because I really want it to line up on this center fold. Oh, so I do want that over a little bit. I want that over a little bit more. And you know what? It's this layer that's throwing it off a little bit. So really what I want is I want half of this, which is the 4. Going to want this piece. There we go, that blue. So I used the lighter blue because I thought the darker blue will get lost. And this I'm going to use in the center. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this for the center. It's going to look like this when I'm finished with it. Okay, so I need this piece again, and now what I'm going to do is trace around this very lightly with a pencil. And no matter what kind of die you're using, you would do something like that so that you can measure that piece. And now what I'm going to do is fold this out because I don't want to cut the whole card, but I want to cut this piece. So I'm going to do that. And then I have this really handy dandy Scotch sticky tape that I use when I'm using my roller. Okay, let me make sure here. The way the lights are shining, it's hard to tell. Okay, there we go. I think I've got that. So I'm just going to put that there. And here's my piece. It should just pop out. There we go. So it's going to look like that. So this I can put aside and I can use that for something else. So this will go here. And then this piece, oops, got a little thing over there. Okay, this piece is going to layer here. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to glue around that. So now I'm just going to line this up, and what I like about the glue is you can kind of wiggle it around. You have a half a minute to wiggle it around before and try and get the whole thing lined up straight. There we go. And the best way to do this is to look straight down on it. And I can see that this side's a little bit wider. So I'm going to put this over like that. There we go. That looks good. That looks really good. Okay, and then what I like to do is just put a block on it for a minute so the glue dries and it sets. And I know it's all lined up, okay? And now what we're going to do with this is I want to decorate this piece down here. And I'm also going to trim a little bit of fuzz off. I just changed my blades on my cutter. Why are they doing this lately? Okay, I'm just going to put this up here out of the way. And what I want to do is take a little piece of designer paper. What I like to do is use the scraps. I like to just cut a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, depending upon how much room you want to write. There we go. Isn't that pretty? So I decided that since this one was with the Moody Mauve, I would use this one with the blues this time. Okay, get that out of the way. Okay, so I need to trim this a little bit because this is just 4 inches. There we go. So we'll put this down and attach this to the white piece. There we go. Okay. And let's see how this is doing. Is this on? Oh yeah, that's on nice and tight. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do now is this is going to go in here like this. Okay, so here's my fold. There we go. And so I'm going to add seal to this back here. Add this. Oops. That's the problem. Seal's harder to move around. Okay, and then this piece will fold over like this. And this, what you can do, will go like this. So what you can do is add glue to the back of this side, so the right-hand side of that hexagon. Okay. And, oops. There we go. And then I'm going to line this all up. And then put this like so. There we go. And there's our piece, our inside piece. And then what I did with this was I added this piece down here. I added a couple of scraps here. I added the message here underneath so that when you fold this out, it looks like this. So let me show you that. And let me cut a couple little scraps here. So what I did was I just cut a couple of these corners off. And I'm just kind of freehanding it there. Okay, so this would go here. And this would go here. Oops, and I got a little bit of tape on my glass. There we go. Okay. And then you can stamp that message. Now what I did here was I took some white flowers. I used, oops, grab these here. I used this paddle punch to punch out some white flowers, and I was just going to use a little bit of blue. I have my blending brush, and I don't want that too dark. Oops. Pull some of these up. So what I'm doing is I have a piece of paper down here, and I'm just kind of wiping that a little bit because I don't want these too dark. And I will close up my ink. And now I'm just going to kind of fold these up a little bit with my nail and give them some depth. And then I can put this one in the middle. So this would go like that. Okay, and what I use for these is glue dots to hold them together. There we go. There's one. Okay, and then this one we'll leave as a single. And then I'm just going to put a couple of these on here. So let's put that one up there. You can always move it around. That's pretty. Okay, and now what I did with this one was I put a happy birthday on it. This one I was thinking about doing a with sympathy or thinking of you because I do need some sympathy cards. And this is the other one, the original one that I did, and I used those nested essential dies, so I used that long, narrow kind of, I don't know what to call that, triangular window, and I used the flowers, and oh, then the piece that I cut out of the designer paper I put on the inside, so just to use, just to use that. So there is our window fun fold. And I will add some little embellishments to that. So thanks for stopping by and checking this out. And I will see you soon.